What is the business, division agent? It's your boy Trey Day coming at y'all with another build video. Today we are going to showcase what I consider the most overpowered PVE build in the division over strikers, over uh, Umbra Initiative, and then I will get into the reason as to why.
Detected.
So
Nearby
if you ever
location
play this
guarded by
build,
hostiles.
you know that the talent on it is hostile negotiations, where it's like you mark an enemy and you can mark up to three with the backpack. They all share the same damage. If you don't run the backpack, it's 60% damage dealt to the ones that are sharing the marks. Versus the backpack, the talent goes from 60 to 100%. But that's not the only thing about it. It's like upon kill, you get a 2% crit hit damage, stacking up to 20 times. So obviously, 20 times 2 is 40, so you get a 40% crit hit damage buff on upon kill. I run mine with the Grupo and the Obliterate chest piece with Fenris. I like the backpack because it keeps everything pretty much in front of you when you're doing control points. The reason why I say it's stronger than strikers is because I can get my weapon damage up to, I believe it's 800,000 off of this build, and the 800,000 with three marked enemies can be distributed across three NPCs, making that, let's just say on the low end 700k. That'll get me 2.1 million each time
Hostiles guarding
I do
location
damage
nearby.
on that one NPC. But enough talking. Let's get into an actual control point to show you exactly how it works out. You can run this whatever weapon you choose. I like to say Elmo's just because my critical hit damage is five. The critical hit chance is 57%, and my crit damage is 206%. So, but like I said, I run it this way just because once you mark them, you keep everything in front of you.
So much for this tactic.
I don't have to bother focusing on every little NPC that goes around me. I can just focus on the one I mark.
Stay out of this, agent! Got you! Yeah. Can't get shot again.
Heavily armored hostile detected. Detected. Nearby
It makes
location
clearing
guarded
control
by
points pretty quick.
hostiles.
One of ours just got hit! How the hell did he get up so fast?
As you can see, that control point is cleared
CP captured. Good job.
just off of marking a bunch of NPCs and just focusing on one. Once you get your marks up, you just focus on that one, and you won't have to worry about those other ones again. Like with the backpack, you do. I mean, without the backpack, you're doing 60% damage, so the probability of them staying up is pretty high. But with the backpack, you're doing 100% damage. So if you mark the reds or the purples and start tagging the yellow, the reds are down, the purples are down. So it's pretty quick, and it makes clearing control points really easy.
Reinforcements incoming.
Ready for action!
Incoming hostiles detected. Hostile control point detected.
Heavy weapon.
Heavily armored hostile detected.
They pretty much line up to get knocked down once you mark them.
Try a taste of my medicine. Get the target. Can't get shot again.
And now I just have to wait for the friendlies to get here. The reason why I say this is stronger than strikers, is more OP than strikers or your Hunter's Fury or any of that, is because unlike the rest of the gear sets in here where you have to focus on that one NPC, this one allows you to mark a few, focus on the one, but still distribute that damage across the other NPCs. So instead of having additive damage or
Hostiles
multiplicative
guarding
damage,
location
it has
nearby.
distributive damage, which is a form of multiplicative damage, except for the fact that the damage you do on one thing is
Supply room
distributed
access
across others.
unlocked.
Therefore, it's a semi-crowd control. No other gear set in the game allows a weapon damage to be, or your weapons to do distributive damage or crowd control like that. So that makes this one a lot more lethal than strikers, where strikers you have to focus on the singular target, and take them out. Or if you're taking on multiples, you have to eliminate one before you move on to the other one. This one you can mark three and eliminate and just focus on one and still do damage on the other. Uh, in addition, that you can do if you want to, if you don't like using the Saint Elmos or any of the exotics, you can, go with the FAMAS or the Kingbreaker or any other weapon. And what I suggest if you do that is take that and use the busy little bee, which once
Detected.
again also
Nearby
adds on
location
to your
guarded by
weapon damage. Where
hostiles.
if you marked up to 20, up to 10 targets, you get 20% weapon damage. So each one you mark, so in this case, the three that you do mark, you end up getting 60% weapon damage. See if I can demonstrate that with the next control point. But it's fairly decent. You just have to focus on your weapon swaps. Unlike the Negotiator's Dilemma, the marks with the busy little bee does not proc all the time at the exact same time with the Negotiators, but it's still, like I said, it's still a decent option to do. It's, they pair really well, especially when you're in a group.
Hostiles guarding location nearby.
What I like to do on the demolition site is get up as close as I can.
You're screwed now! Everyone, no one can save you now! Need
I don't know why that happened, but it did. For some reason, my gun just stayed straight up. See, I can't get the busy little bee to mark on them for some reason. I don't know why. Whoa, he hit
Detected. Nearby
kinda
location
hard.
guarded by
Oh,
hostiles.
oh, I got the bug. Here, I mark the turret, and everybody does the damage. Everybody receives the damage. Jesus Christ. And the rectangle for the pistols are so horrible.
Stop the bastard!
Heavily armored hostile detected.
As you can see, everybody I marked with a basic little B, I got that huge buff. Where's that coming from? Really? I said firing airburst. Black test. Nose to so-and-so's.
Serious trauma
Hit
detected.
hard.
Detected. Location guarded by hostiles.
Control point secured. Well done.
I'm gonna go ahead and die by these black tests so I can get that bug off me.
Immediate medical assistance needed. Agent down.
Clearly there's a named NPC somewhere.
Target's on top of us.
But you see I'm hitting what, that was 586 with a body shot. With the Negotiator's Dilemma with the FAMAS. You know, it's 47 and 191. It's pretty good. I like to use the busy little B, but what I don't like is the consistent, you know, gun swapping. But if you're in a group, you're able to go ahead and knock that out. Because you can just hang back and mark. Whoa, saw that. Phew.
Hostiles guarding location nearby.
Airburst on the way.
Whoa, she is good.
Agents is back on their feet. This angle is all bad.
But yeah, like I said, this is a a decent. It's a really good build, and I feel like it's really OP in PVE. Just because that singular distributive damage, like even then, the 60% is still a viable option. You know, it does a decent amount of
Detected.
damage, and
Nearby
it's
location
not like
guarded
too
by
overpowered.
hostiles.
You know, where you're sitting there just mowing down groups, which is why I assume they nerfed it in PvP because people were marking enemies or marking agents and then running into a landmark and waxing players that way. Like I've seen it, and I've seen people, you know, wipe through Boomer in the same fashion in the raid using negotiators. So, like I said, this is probably the most powerful build in my opinion. I don't think take that as fact. But this is probably the most powerful build in my opinion in PvE
Incoming backup
because
request.
it truly does allow you to just completely focus fire three people by just one. You can wipe out entire teams, or you used to. Like the original Negotiator Dilemma used to have this perk where upon losing your armor, a
Hostiles
grenade
guarding
would just
location
flop out of
nearby.
nowhere. Hey, buddy. Johnny Five alive. My potato aim. There we go. But the distributed damage is something else. So run it how you choose.
Reinforcements en route.
That's my version minus the memento backpack because I
Detecting
like knowing
additional
that I can
hostile
do an additional
contacts.
40% damage based on that. See, I'm sitting here keeping them literally just focused in this manhole. I think I missed one. Just running there.
Heavily armored hostile detected.
Okay. What was that? That's going in the blooper reel. I mean, the blooper reel. But yeah, that's the build. I mean,
Supply room access.
I,
Unlocked.
I feel like that distributive damage is a
Detected.
huge deal in the
Nearby
game
location
just
guarded
because
by
it
hostiles.
allows you in a setting where you have multiple enemies coming at you all at once. Where if you mark a few, just get a few shots on one of them where you get that negotiator's mark, and then you find that one NPC with a huge amount of armor that you can just focus on. Everything that is coming or trying to flank you, which the NPCs are really good at in this game, it's a little bit harder for them to do so when they're receiving the exact same amount of damage. But that's the build for me. That'll do it. Get your shade. Watch up, fellas. Yeah, I'll take it easy. Or I'm sorry, I didn't mean just fellas. I meant ladies and gentlemen, agents. Get your shade level up.